It's Reddit's favourite month, Spooktober! And to celebrate the scariest month of the year, I'll be revisiting Amnesia. Again, for even more custom stories. It hasn't been long since the last one, only been around 2 years? Fuck! Well, better late than never. If you haven't seen the first one, I recommend you do, as they're pretty wacky. As going to get screenshotted. This will be the same format as last time, some serious stories and some custom stories here. This time we'll be going over mainly serious custom stories since it is Spooktober after all. Most stories are from the Steam Workshop, but I did install one custom story from ModDB since it wasn't in the Steam Workshop. What is it? Well, watch to find out. First up is Key to Freedom. I had this subbed for 2 years but I've never played it, and thanks to this video, I did. You play as a man that has been given a task from Mr. Wilkinson, headmaster of the Darwin Institute for Misbehaved Youngsters, to break into a manor and find a key so he can let us leave the institute. This is because we tried to escape and he was impressed by that. Jumping straight in, and I knew I was gonna like this. The way you have to break in and do a mini puzzle to get your lantern was very cool and well thought out. Okay, that's pretty clever, I like that. In fact, the puzzles in this custom story are actually pretty good, with the coal generator section needing to find pieces of coal whilst avoiding the spooky monsters. This machinery section, we have to get the lever into the correct positions, and the shape buttons puzzle in the tower was good as well, as you just press the button the number of times the shape is corresponding to. The square hole. It goes in the square hole. I also liked the section in the lower level of the manor with needing to collect shards to complete the Call for Balls. It was a fetch quest, but it made you go around the manor, so it made good use of that. It also made use of eagle statues to indicate that a missing shard was within 20 feet of it, 6 meters in non-freedom units. This helped immensely with finding some tiny ass ball shards in this giant ass fucking manor. So I'm glad for this, and it was a good use for nudging the player to the shard without making it too obvious. This custom story has great atmosphere, and dare I say it surpassed the base game in certain parts. Great level design as well. Of course, since this is a horror game, it's gotta have some spooks. And guys, remember how I'm just a little bitch? Fuck you. Well, fourth. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, this is a little embarrassing. Madman when he sees a black person with glowing white eyes. This shouldn't have got me as bad as it did, but it fucking did. Somehow. There was also another section where after completing a puzzle, the lights blow out and everything goes complete silent, despite uplifting music playing after completing the puzzle. This baits the player into feeling vulnerable since it only plays for mere seconds before fading away. This got me bad. I now should be able to enter through this door for the... Ah, okay. Okay. Madam Lydia, I'm quite sorry. I feel like this is a completely underutilized part 4. Going about your thing when the music just stops and there's nothing but the darkness and silence making you think if there really is something lurking around you. Waiting. And there was. Fuck! I'm not... Oh, it forced me to that. Oh shit. My lantern, no! Get the fuck away from me. Okay, the close-up of the Shadow Man was a bit goofy, but still, this was a spooky-ass section. There is a story here as it unravels in the notes throughout. At the time I thought it was neat, but afterwards I just kind of forgot about it. Not bad or anything, but just not very memorable. Still, I admired the dedication to give some lore, and seeing how the people reacted to an invisible monster haunting their own home was very interesting to read. It also had voice acting, which is alright. I've definitely heard worse.
The sudden illness of Lord Gregory Harrington.
The spooky Shadow Man is the ghost of Lord Gregory IV, and I already know that you don't give a shit, so I won't go too much into it. If you do care, go ahead and play this one. It's around 2 to 3 hours in length, and it's a good quality custom story. I really liked the graveyard section, where if you stand in the dark too long, you get attacked by the spirits of the damned. It makes you want to run through it and just get to the nearest light source as fast as possible. The ending completely blue balls you as it ends right after being attacked by the Shadow Man again, after finally collecting the key Wilkinson wanted, wondering if the protagonist even lived. And probably not. Okay, so it turns out I got the bad ending because of course I did. The good ending is where you obviously got out and you leave the Institute. I don't even know how I got the bad ending. I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Good creative puzzles, atmosphere, and holy shit, this manor is ginormous. Taking place after the Alexander ending, I think it's been a while, the one where you kill him, you wake up at the end of the game and now instead of descending the mansion, you must ascend. Awareness, the bright ascend. Yeah, this one is where you pretty much play the game in reverse. Sort of, not everything of course, that would be silly if it was just the entire game but backwards. The mansion is falling apart and so we need to escape before everything collapses in on us. Some areas are already completed and you can just walk past them. Some have new puzzles and objectives for you to solve, whether it be a key to a door, blowing up a hole with a chemical bomb, or finding rope to go down a huge hole. The places that you've been to in the base game are so familiar, yet they feel utterly different. Like they're brand new. There are even new areas to explore to spice things up instead of it just beating the entire game backwards. This is a great twist to the base game, and honest to god, it feels like official DLC. This is a very high quality custom story. In terms of spooks, it was a little spooky, but not shit your pants scary. It's just a chair. I would say the soundtrack makes it spooky, but it's just from the base game. Still, the soundtrack is really good and it makes the atmosphere of the game very rich. You go a decent amount of time at the beginning without any monsters. You think you got rid of them. That is, until they show up. The famous Grunt is no longer here, instead being replaced with the Ghoul and the Fish Monster, of which I only just realized that it's called the Kernk. Kernk? Interesting. There are these sanity potions of which you could collect, but naturally, I didn't get all of them. I'll talk about the endings later. I really like the loading screens with the white sketches and text. It gives you a read into your character's mind as he goes through Benneberg, hopefully to forget the horrors that he's been through once he gets out. If he gets out. Good use. I really like the layout here. Even though it's a giant ass mansion, it's still pretty linear for the most part, and not overly confusing progress. I really didn't like the prison section. Part of me is just being a dumbass, but I spent so long going around in circles because I had zero clue on how to make progress. Having run out of oil and going around in the dark certainly did not help. I couldn't open the door needed to progress because my crowbar was broken. There's no workbench anywhere. There is no items anywhere. How am I supposed to... I had to combine the string with the crowbar. Yeah, I forgot you could combine shit in the base game. There's more I could talk about here, but I would be here all day. Right, the endings. Naturally, of course, I got the worst ending, which Daniel, our main protagonist, ends up in endless purgatory, fleeing Brenneberg forever. There are 4 other endings, but considering I took 4 hours to complete this once, fuck that. The second ending is where you lock up the Ghoul, but you go insane after you leave Brenneberg, because you didn't collect all the sanity potions. Third ending is where you return the orb, and just let me play it. That was way cooler and more beautiful of an ending. And this was a secret one, so I wouldn't have ever figured this out on my own. But nah, I get to be stuck in an endless loop for eternity. Oh, sorry Daniel Lamau. Fourth ending is you locking up the goal and collecting all 13 sanity potions. Daniel escapes Brenneberg and stays sane. Fifth ending is another secret ending. You have to collect some secret items and go a specific way at the end of the game to go through some old archives and go beyond the locked doors. Honestly, I'm not going to explain it fully. It's not really special. These endings are way cooler and more satisfying. It's too bad I got the default one. I was just left a bit disappointed. I would 100% play this again for the other endings, but it took me so long just to do one playthrough. Still, this is an excellent custom story that feels like official DLC. Great puzzles, decent spooks, and it's an excellent vanilla type story. 9 out of 10. I got my hopes up when I saw a Steam comment on how this was the best when it comes to fear factor. Constant tension from the beginning till the end. I knew I had to play this one. The intro began and I knew this was gonna be good. In fact, it was so good, electromagnetic interference began attacking my microphone. Amnesia, Rain. This custom story estimates to be around 2 to 3 hours. I beat this in around 2 hours, so it was in fact a good estimate. Surprising, considering I'm a mega retarded dumbass when it comes to these custom stories. This custom story is about the main character being stuck in a dungeon where prisoners are taken and are tortured. There are 3 chapters to this, and the first one is Dungeons. When I fell down this hole and went through the dark tunnel with the unsettling background music, I felt vulnerable. I did feel some form of tension. Hopefully that one Steam commenter was right. Throughout the custom story, you can find notes from a guy named Ulrich, and he may be the key to getting out of this hellhole. First, he was all hopeful but afraid, but throughout he slowly accepts on never escaping. The prison holds forms of sick torture methods, like the burning bull thing that makes your scream sound like a bull while being lit on fire. The Iron Maiden that mysteriously jump scares you, being tied up and sawed from your below half, and a very nice, welcoming acid bath. These sections are weird with your character going all blurry and not being able to see fucking anything at all in these rooms. Already at the beginning, and I love the atmosphere of this one. God, I say atmosphere a lot. The prison being covered in a red mist is a metaphor of the tortured victims and their broken spirit. The horrors of this prison that no one ever wants to be in. Truly makes this spookier. The puzzles in this one are pretty decent. I got stuck with them not because they were hard or vague, but I'm just mega stupid. Go figure. Some are fine with the melting this pile of flesh and dried blood with acid to grab a key, and to solve this contraption with going through storages A and B to get their pattern for the machine. And some are so easy that it made me confused for 20 minutes because apparently throwing a rock at wooden platforms was too confusing for me. So obvious. I literally had to look up a walkthrough because I kept going around in circles. I already threw a rock at it, not on the wooden platforms, but the middle of the platform. I was so nearly there. God damn it. This didn't help that I tried to save the first time, and it didn't even save. Sorry, where's my fucking save? Dude, what the fuck? There's no save function? What the fuck? What do you mean there's no save function? Hold on. Save and exit. Alright, okay, this custom story, for whatever reason, doesn't allow saving, so you would have to complete this in one go. Considering it's not super difficult and not long, and you can beat it in one sitting, it really isn't a big deal. Annoying though. I restarted again and I was able to complete it within 2 hours. The section of going through storages A and B to get the powder needed to beat the machine puzzle to open the chapel was great. Hearing the chase music while running to the exit as the Karnk? Okay, Karnk, apparently. The Karnk slowly catches up to you in the water as you parkour through the boxes like it's a fucking Roblox zombie. It was very well done and was a good ass sequence. The chapel section is the main climax. It tells of a fallen priest who was possessed by a demon and killed his men. After he breaches out of his energy radiating door, of which there is bright white light, we have to lock him up. Well, it took me 17 minutes to get that done, but that's beside the point. Also, Slender sounds were playing for some reason, and to think that my last video was indeed Slender. What a small world. You should also watch that video, it's pretty good. The final chapter, Rain, is you in your own home, realizing that you can end your torment by quite literally ending yourself. Apart from the no saving function, there's no save function. This was a really good custom story. Constant tension? Sadly not, at least for me. Steam commenter? I'm disappointed. But to each their own, I suppose. Atmosphere was great, not really scary, but it was a bit tense and it was well paced. Decent puzzles as well. 8 out of 10. This one is a bit different as it's a total conversion mod instead of just being a normal custom story. It wasn't on the workshop, so I had to download it off ModDB. Not a huge deal, but I wish it was on the Steam Workshop. This one. This is a real special one. Words cannot describe how aesthetically pleasing this mod is. It may still have older graphics, it is a 2010 game after all, but still, I need you to look for yourself. This is the most beautiful custom story I've played so far. Even in the main menu, I was astray by the striking art direction. This mod proves that even though your game might have older graphics and textures, art style and direction will make it look forever beautiful. Something that I wish modern games did more. I just love that this is a really short custom story compared to the ones that I've been playing. I completed this in around 40 minutes compared to the 2 to 4 hours I was doing for the other custom stories for this video. Also, there isn't completely vague puzzles that make my tiny brain fry. This takes place after the Portal ending in the base game, which I never got. You are transported to another world that once was inhabited with aliens. There is some lore here which does flesh out the story a bit, but it isn't super important. Just look at these visuals. That's the real story here, guys. Honestly, I wished this was longer. Genuinely, a little bit longer with some more beautiful visuals. But it's short and sweet, which is fine by me. I'm not sure if this needed to be a complete total conversion mod, considering I played the Smallers 2, which whilst being a normal custom story mod, was also completely fucking ridiculous and was such a disaster piece. If that sounds funny, then you should check out my 2 videos on it. They're among my favourite videos that I've made to date. 2 self-promotions in 1 video? Fuck yeah. So yeah, I loved the visuals, it was short and well paced, it wasn't 4 hours with stupidly vague puzzles. I really liked this one. 9.5 out of 10. After seeing the screenshots of this in the workshop and the mod I just played, I knew I also had to play this one. Again, I took a long time with this one, 3 hours to beat. And trust me, you do not need 3 hours to beat this custom story. In a dying world, we are in the desert, and we are a retired monk going to an acropolis called the Spout to, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I have no fucking clue what is going on in this story. I legit cannot explain it. All you need to know is that we're going to a place called the Spout in the desert, and there's some mythologies or something. Speaking of, I love the desert setting. It's something that I haven't seen yet in a custom story, and it works really well here. In fact, it worked so well that Frictional Games used a desert setting in their third Amnesia game, Rebirth, which was okay. Just okay. Actually, what the fuck even happened in Rebirth? God, that game was so weird. Immediately, I am loving the soundtrack. It fits completely well into the setting and is well composed. Something that the other custom stories tried to do was to be scary, and while Key to Freedom did have that Shadow Man scare that really shouldn't have got me as bad as it should, Jesus fucking Christ, the others really didn't put me on edge. But this? Yeah. This one actually, genuinely startled me. What I love about this one is that it utilizes silence a lot of the time. Like I was talking about earlier, how it's underutilized. Going into a dark area and there is dead silence, knowing that someone or something is actually here. It gets to you. There is a rich, tense atmosphere with this one that unironically settles me. That probably sounds cringe, but I don't care. It's my honest truth. Furthermore, it uses its jump scares brilliantly. No loud obnoxious noises and a guy popping up in your face. Instead, it uses background sounds and unsuspecting enemies like this. Oh fuck! It's a tongue! The monster that stares you down in the distance before walking away is just great. It stops you in your tracks and startles you without doing the boring jumpscare bullshit in those shitty YouTuber bait games.
Something bad's gonna happen.
It actively builds tension through it, and it just plain damn works. Simulacrum has cool puzzles like going around to collect the artifacts to power up this large ass door. Ooh, pretty. As well as this underground section, we have to make a chemical mixture to set ablaze this large ass cobweb. This dead set spiders that crash your game. Right, the spiders of doom have crashed my game apparently. It's not good. The portal mechanic at the end was nicely thought out and fits into the weird nature of the desert and its mythologies. Well, if I could explain what they are. I also just really like this hex where you can chisel or chalk and it sends you to a different area with shifting walls. Super cool. Although this is all really nice, this custom story can be weirdly vague with how to make progress. I got stuck for over half an hour going around in circles because I literally did not know how to continue. What you were supposed to do is, I can't believe this, go to this random dark as fuck corner with wooden planks and move them. I just thought you couldn't move the planks, so I just kept looking elsewhere. Ugh. What's even worse is that you also have to go to the missing bridge section to then look at the floor to draw chalk to make it appear. This was in no way communicated to the player that this could even be done. Not even like a little subtle hint. Whatever. One last major complaint are the endings, or ending I should say. Yeah, at the end you can either put down a green page or a red page on this book. Considering this was programmed in to let you choose, and the skull's color changes depending on what page you collected and put down, there should be 2 different endings. But there isn't! It's the exact same ending. What's even the point of being given a choice if the choice doesn't matter? What is this, a fucking Telltale game? Look, despite that, this was an amazing custom story. Great custom soundtrack, great setting, cool puzzles despite it being fake sometimes, actually scary and startles you, and the custom monster at the end sounds like Tourette's guy. Oh, fuck's sake! 9 out of 10. This is it. The big one. The magnum opus. Consistently in people's top Amnesia custom stories. Most subscribed custom story on the workshop. 5 stars. It's time for the final serious story for this video. This is by far not only the longest one in this list, but also the longest custom story I've played to date. Fleeing Brenneberg took me 4 hours, and even that felt really long to me. But that doesn't even compare to the 9.5 hours hours. This took me 9.5 fucking hours. Minus all the breaks that I took in the recordings. Normally the recordings led to nearly 10 hours, but minus all the breaks I took, 9.5 hours. Don't worry, it only took me this long because yet again, I'm just really slow and stupid. The guy who did a playthrough of this on YouTube only took around 4 hours, which is probably the actual amount of time one should realistically be spending on this custom story. Despite it being super ambitious and long, it didn't bore me once, or maybe want to stop playing. The great work is about our protagonist, Charles Longdon, whose after partner goes missing during a cave in a Middenburg castle, must go through a fucktastic journey after a mysterious shark gets fused with his abdomen. This custom story has my favourite lore so far since I played Destiny Rebellion. The cult, the shards, and the orb, potentially locking all answers to the universe. It's weird, mysterious, and I absolutely loved it. The soundtrack, again like with all the others, is really good. My favourites are tgw_13_amp.ogg, or what VLC calls it, Hope 1. I don't know, it's just really nostalgic to listen to whenever you're in the Clockwork area. The other one that I liked is tgw_12_amp. It's just weirdly relaxing to listen to. Honestly, I'm not really going to spoil too much of the story, because honest to God, you should play this one for yourselves. The story is very intriguing and it gets weirder and weirder the longer you go in. You might not even get the same stuff as me considering there are multiple endings. Considering it took me 9.5 hours to get 2 endings in one playthrough, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. Basically a weird orb that grants knowledge to the universe or something. You must collect the other shard before the cult does and bring doom and chaos. Something about time, and you're still looking for your partner Jane. Spoiler alert. You never find her. And the feud between Samuel Hartlib and Morian and Immortality, it's pretty weird. I got the bad ending first, as per usual of these custom stories for some reason. Charles gets infused with the orb and then presumably use him to bring chaos upon the world. Luckily I managed to get the good ending quickly after, of which I got the orb back. Charles becomes immortal and the cult practically loses. I really like the visuals in this custom story. Okay, I like the visuals in all of these custom stories, okay? I'm sorry that I just chose peak after peak after peak, okay? This room with Morian and the orb with like synthwave 80s type music playing, hell yeah brother, give me more of that synthwave shit. In terms of spooks, actually, this one wasn't super scary. There was this really stupid scare in chapter 6. Fuck, getting jump scared. Well, eating chocolate is not a good idea. Again, that shouldn't have got me. The cave section was a bit scary, I guess, until I touched this rope that caused the game to bug out and be totally silent. Oh. Hello? Wait. Hold on. This happened again when I was just exploring the cave. Wow. Why is the keyboard shitting itself? You know something's up when I'm being more scared of the game bugging out and turning silent than the dark, vast emptiness of the cave. The forest was actually a pretty spooky part with the stairs that are a clear reference to SCP-087-B. You know, the spooky ass ended stairs with that one face in the darkness. Yeah, this one also got me despite it not being very scary. There's no way one of the hearts would be down here. This has to be... The fucking silence, man, it always gets to me. The puzzles in this one are okay. I liked how you can create like special crystals to throw and explode shit like you're Walter fucking White. I also like this one where you had to trap this monster by unlocking and then relocking the padlocks to trap him. Simple, but it still felt satisfying to do after this guy constantly fucks with you after chapter 1. Fucking one-taps you like a bitch. But this area had me stuck for an hour because I wasn't sure how to get past this rock wall. What you were supposed to actually do genuinely pissed me off. There's no fucking way, right? Okay. I need to complain about that. That is legitimately a terrible, terrible fucking puzzle. I know I'm a bit of an idiot, a mega retarded dumbass if you will, when it comes to puzzles, but I'm not crazy here, right? How was I genuinely supposed to know that you had to hammer this tiny little pipe connector that doesn't even look like you could do anything with it? Am I just stupid? Because personally, I think this is stupid. Also, if you fall down here after jumping an event and you don't have Londonum, congratulations, you have just soft-locked yourself because you won't naturally heal and you're too slow now. Yippee! You can't get past this door with the 2 levers. Yippee! Massive oversight in my opinion. I also really like the custom enemy models. This one being like a weird mix of the Plague Doctor and that one SCP that everyone wants to fuck for some reason. You see him a couple of times and I think he's well designed. Perfectly fits the cult theme. There's this other one, like a weird fucked up monster that was once human, because he was once human. I think the Plague Doctor looking ass one is the Intelligencer, and the other one that fucks with you is the Remnant. Look, this custom story took me 9.5 hours to beat. There's no way I'm gonna fit in everything I want to talk about in this small segment in this video. Otherwise, this video would be 2 hours, and I don't even want to make a separate video on this, so I'm gonna quickly wrap this up. Despite it being really long, great lore that I was actually invested in and wanted to learn more, okay puzzles, and really just a good, unique experience, the great work actually isn't my favorite serious custom story. I can recognize why people think it is their favorite, but personally, my award of most favorite still belongs to Destiny Rebellion. I don't know, I just vibed with that otherworldly, post-apocalyptic one better than this personally. It not taking 9.5 hours to complete also helped. Hell, I even had more fun with Key to Freedom than this one. Boom, 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 boom. What the fuck? Now look, that doesn't make this bad. Not at all. This is still an amazing, ambitious custom story that deserves all the love and the #1 most subscribed on the Steam Workshop. Thank you, Damascus. Thank you. But it just wasn't my favorite one, which is okay. Still, it would actually, genuinely this time, be an insult if I gave this lower than a 9 out of 10.
Hey guys, editing me here. I kind of forgot to record the outro. I don't know how I did. I'm editing this late at night, and honestly, I just want to finish it tonight. So I'm just gonna whisper the outro. Get fucked. And that's it for this part. I was gonna put in troll custom stories, but I think this video is long enough. That will be part 3 for me to go over. So subscribe and hit the bell to stay tuned for that one. Maybe even hit the like button if you like this video. I'm not gonna do a tier list for this one because honest to God, every single one of these was good. There are a surprising amount of good, high quality custom stories out there for Amnesia, and I just barely scratched the surface. There's A Coward's Death, Amadeus, Poisonous, Tenebrous Lake, Obscurity, and many, many, many more. I don't know if I'll make this a series. It'll get very repetitive, and these take forever to make. Maybe part 3 will be the last one with some troll custom stories. I don't know. But that'll do it for this one. I'll see y'all next time. Happy Halloween.
Awesome. Love the one tap.
So good. Good game design, guys. Good game design.
So scary. I'm shitting myself hard. Fuck me. Like. Awesome. One tap design is
So good, guys.
fucking brown shit everywhere. So fucking scary. I'm gonna try that exit, but if not, then I've fucked myself into the bad ending somehow once again. Why am I suddenly so what the fuck? Okay, you can't exit. Jesus Christ. Oh, what is this outro music? I'm sorry. No, that's not good. Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude to this 13-year-old mom, but like, oh, I don't like that. But, you know, it's pretty good.